Hello everyone, welcome. This is Miss Renu from Genius Kids. It's my favorite time of the week, Thursday, and we're coming up to our show, The Voices. This is a quick prequel, just a little quick summary to our show that's coming up at 12 o'clock because we wanted to remind everyone about the October being the Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and Radio Zindagi and myself are bringing in this show to remind you that domestic violence still exists. And if you think coronavirus is the only pandemic, I'm sorry, but you know what? Domestic violence has been the pandemic going on for years, and we need to do something about this. So a quick reminder, we want to bring back our guest who was here a few weeks ago with us, Jasmeet Kaur, and she is an advocate for domestic violence. She's gone through this personally, and she's here to give us a little rerun on her story before we move on to our show. So, Sat Sri Akal and welcome to our show, Jasmeet.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and Radio Zindagi for giving me this prestigious platform and listening to the cries of non-resident Indian NRI wives who have been abused and abandoned by their H-1B employment visa holder husbands. The NRI abandoned women who have suffered domestic violence in India and USA are just requesting the United States government that can we have a provision in law which mentions that divorces of Indian marriages between an H-1B employment visa holder and an H-4 dependent visa holder be only granted in USA family law courts if both parties give their mutual consent to it, as otherwise the dependent abused woman is kept at a very disadvantageous position as she not just loses the custody of a USA citizen child, but is also deprived of lawful legal standing in USA, right to have a public prosecutor, shelter, health insurance, finances, job, her basic human right as she lives in a dual status of being divorced in USA, but still married as per Indian laws. And last but not the least, she is deprived of fair justice as dowry, which is the root cause of domestic violence in Indian couples, is not recognized in USA, and courts do not consider the crimes committed in India as it's out of their jurisdiction. Today, on behalf of all the NRI abandoned wives in United States and India, I, Jasmeet Kaur, would like to thank Radio Zindagi for initiating the awareness on this topic and inviting such honorable panelists in order to bring a concrete solution to this burning issue. Thank you.
Jasmeet, thank you so much. You know, from the bottom of my heart, and of course I know I speak on behalf of Neeraj, Seba, Ira, and the whole Radio Zindagi team, thank you so much for speaking up. You know, it's one thing to go through domestic violence, and it is totally another thing to be able to stand up, show your face, and come forth and come public about your experience. And yes, I've heard many horror stories about women being abandoned in India, husbands coming over here, and then when you finally come over here, what you have to go through. I mean, what you put us through a few weeks ago when we heard that, it really touched the lives of so many people. And I know so many other women were listening to you, but didn't have the courage to speak out. And I hope, if anything, I said this earlier on Facebook, this is the one show we are allowed to scream out loudly because this is the one topic we must shout. So I cannot begin to thank you enough for coming. And it is because of you, we were motivated to bring on all these panelists. Of course, thanks to my dear friend, Rini, and Seba to bring all these panelists that are going to be coming on at 12 o'clock to answer many of the questions that you asked that we didn't have answers for, Jasmeet. So I really hope we do justice. I really, really hope. And again, thank you so much. And we hope that after the end of the show, you get some answers as well to some of your questions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you, Renu ma'am.
And back to you, Radio Zindagi. We're looking forward to starting our show in a few minutes. For those who've just tuned in, Voices will start at 12 o'clock. And the show is about domestic violence. And yes, you know what? Let us not forget that this is not just like the coronavirus, it comes and it goes. It doesn't. Domestic violence has been there for the longest time before the virus and will still remain there. And unless we speak up and unless we do something, we are not going to be able to solve and fix this problem for young girls like Jasmeet. So we have a great panel of the district attorney. We have assembly members. I mean, please tune in and you're going to get to know all our panelists. So again, Jasmeet, one last sentence to all of them before we wrap up. What's your message to everybody really quickly?
Just thank you, and just listen to the unheard cries of non-resident Indian women. No, there should be no other Jasmeet standing here and asking for justice.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Jasmeet. Thank you so much. Thank you.